Good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Today I want to talk about a little bit more of why I am really surprised by Infinite Warfare, at least the multiplayer aspects. Infinite Warfare was created by Infinity Ward, who also created Ghosts and Modern Warfare 3. For this reason, I am incredibly surprised by what we have here in Infinite Warfare because it is not really reminiscent of anything we know and love, at least I know and love, about the previous iterations of Call of Duty from Infinity Ward. And so in this video, I want to go through and I want to share what I personally think is lacking here in Infinite Warfare that we had back in Call of Duty Ghosts. Number 1, good netcode, good hit detection. That's kind of a given, but we won't meditate on that too much. Number 2, this is probably one of the bigger ones, and this is going to be the Pick-12 Create-a-Class system. The second game in the franchise to strive away from the typical loadout that we had back in Modern Warfare 3 and prior, Black Ops 2 went forward and added a Pick-10 system. Call of Duty Ghost and Infinity Ward replied with their own version of a Pick-10 system. What you could do is you can get rid of your weapons and your equipment in order for more perk numbers. But the really cool thing about this was that each perk was individually balanced and scored appropriately. So a perk that really didn't really do much, like Gambler or I forget another one of them, Takedown, that was just 1 point, but a big perk like Stalker or Quick Draw would cost a lot, like 3 points. This was incredible for balance. It meant that if you wanted a perk that really did a lot, for example, Deadeye gave you almost a random stopping power like effect, was a very expensive perk and it was worth 5 points. But the littler stuff like no fall damage was just 1 point. It allowed you to vary up your classes. I remember running recon classes with grenades and explosives just so I can see people on the minimap. It was so cool. The way they did the perk system was so diverse, and it allowed for a more diverse perk system than we've ever had in Call of Duty ever since. But in Infinite Warfare, we just have the Pick-10 system, and that's just it. One of the better things about this system was that the attachments were free, and the really cool thing is that the attachments really weren't that big of a deal. You could have like a silencer, extended mags, armor piercing, a red dot sight. You could pick 2 attachments, and there was a perk that gave you a third one, of course. However, the attachments were just kind of they weren't really that great. They weren't like Quick Draw and Stalker. Those weren't attachments because they are so powerful. They were perks. And I really liked that I could have whatever attachments I wanted on my gun without having to feel like I'm spending a point, because an attachment to me is not worth a whole point, and it was phenomenally balanced, and you can play so much with your weapons for that reason. It's so great. It was so great. Not to mention, where did some of these perks go? I mean, I guess we kind of have Gambler on some gun variants that you have to get through supply drops. We sort of have Wiretap through a perk. I mean, ICU is sort of a specialist thing, but Takedown, Deadeye, they're not there. Infinity Ward does a really good job at pushing the envelope and really grasping at different concepts in Call of Duty and playing with the mechanics in a really fun, playful way. And that's something they did amazing with the perks in Call of Duty Ghost, and that's just something that I don't see in Infinite Warfare. I know Ping and ICU and Gambler are back in it in some sort of ways, but it's not the same. Another big thing I see missing is the strike packages. This was your thing, Infinity Ward. I mean, the strike packages and the kill streak point system was what made this game so good to me. I love the simplicity of the point system. I can understand fully the score streak system is mathematically better and it might be better all around, but just from a logistics, from a layman's terms, from the simplest way of playing this game, I want to make a video, simpler the better. Simpler things like the point streak system, in my opinion, is great. And I go back to Ghost and I'm like, oh, points, it's just 8 points, you know, rather than 725 points for the next kill streak. It's like, okay, well, if I do this, that, and that, I might get that amount of points. Like, it's not necessarily any better or worse. It's just different. I like it being so simple. But the thing is, they completely forgot about the true specialist strike package, the one where you can get as many perks as you want, or which perks you want, extra perks. Now I know this is back again as some sort of supply drop gun variant in Infinite Warfare, but it's not the same. It's not readily available to everybody. I can't pick what perks I'm going to get. This was some of the reasons why people played Call of Duty Ghosts. This was a huge reason why Modern Warfare 3 was so big. Do you know why TBNR Frags got so huge? It's because he did Moabs after Moabs after Moabs. And you know how he did that? Because of the specialist system, because it's so much fun having all of the perks, and it's completely balanced because you're not getting any health, you're not getting any sort of advantage, you're getting little tiny perks. And if your game is balanced, then that is not going to be unbalanced. I know it's kind of plain to say, but that was something that's so missing here in Infinite Warfare. This is a huge game mechanic that people loved and adored, and you just threw it out the window. And I wholeheartedly believe that the support strike package could have been better and could have been perfected. Stuff like the support juggernaut, the Night Owl was so brilliant. Now I know you can kind of have the Night Owl back in Infinite Warfare with a specialist, and the Vulture has a radar mode, but like I said before, it's just not the same. It's just gimmicks. It's just they want everything to be this specialist trait or whatever thing they have here in Infinite Warfare. And the support squad mate would have been so perfect if he didn't pull out his pistol. There are just subtle changes that they could have made to the support strike package to make it balanced, fun, rewarding, and fair. But again, they completely abandoned it and threw it out the window. Also, there was footsteps in Call of Duty Ghosts, which would be nice to have in Infinite Warfare. And these last two things really kind of, they look like defeat to me. The map dynamics. Now I know they were really kind of laughed at because they were promoted so much, but they were a nice little charm. It was cool to open and close the doors on that dumb big open map that we got on the default maps. You know, there was some nice charm to this. It was cool to shoot down a bunch of logs and kill someone on Prison Break. But one of the things that I miss the most is field orders. Look, I don't like care packages in the game, and I feel like they are completely random. I use them and I abuse them because it's so much easier to get a big kill streak from a care package than it is to actually earn it. Believe me, I know. So having this field order was so much fun. It was so cool to have. It was so cool to have something in game when you're playing a map, when you're playing a match, just going for some sort of mini objective. But what I always praised it for was it made you think on your feet. It made you think tactically. You know, how do you get kills with how do you get 3 kills with a picked up weapon? Okay, you got to find the right weapon. Oh, it's a sniper. Can you do it? I don't know. It's a shotgun. Oh, are you skilled enough? It made you think on your feet. Get 3 kills from behind. Oh, you got to flank them. You got to go around them. That's something that's not encouraged in Infinite Warfare or Black Ops 3 or Advanced Warfare. That tactical play is, again, completely abandoned. And one of the things that I absolutely loved about the field orders is the map specific kill streaks. This was so much fun. Go right now, go watch a Call of Duty Ghosts DLC trailer and tell me that the AC-130, the Dia de Muertos guys, the skeletons, and all of that sort of stuff doesn't look completely fun. The Mike Myers, the Predator, oh my goodness, that was so fun. Every single map. Not only were you going for the field order to get a care package, you were going for that field order to play as the Predator, to play as Michael Myers, to explode the rocket in the Scrapyard remake. You know, I mean, it was so much fun. The gameplay itself within a match was so much fun because of everything I've listed here, because of how you could customize your weapon and your perks, because of all of the different strike packages that you had in-game that were available to you, and the field orders is just the icing on the cake, and now it's just gone. All of these dynamics, all of these things, they're just twisted in a weird sort of bland, boring way. What's even worse is that everyone hated strike packages, like the support strike package, because it didn't take any skill to get these certain kill streaks. But then again, we have a game with specialists in it, and it's just everyone has a free overpowered weapon they can use during once or twice during a match. It's just it doesn't make sense to me. These two games are incredibly different. They are so different. They're not. I don't feel like Infinite Warfare was made by Infinity Ward. I look at the campaign, I look at the zombies, and I think it's brilliant. And if you had the Call of Duty Ghost multiplayer, this would be my all-time favorite Call of Duty ever created. But unfortunately, Infinite Warfare is the multiplayer we got. And in part 2 of this video, I'm going to show you how all of this is the community's fault. So stay tuned, subscribe for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until the next absolutely beautiful Call of Duty morning, I'll catch up with you guys later. And as always, stay beautiful.
Loki, ready for commands.